when I first joined Oxygen in Tier 2, it kind of was like a trial for me being IGL with them. It honestly ended up working out like really well. And when we picked up Bonkar, like I learned so many things from him because he was a world champion Paladins player, and he knew how to lead a team, and he taught me so many things, and I owe, a big chunk of my, how I lead teams to him.
Hi everyone, Station 2 in here. I'm here with Cloud9 Mitch after their series against MIBR. So overall, this tournament is done for you guys. You were able to take that series against NRG, but then the next two series didn't really go your way. But just talk to me about VCT Kickoff for you, because this was kind of your first real tournament as the IGL for the team. So just talk to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, coming in, we only had a few weeks of practice, and I had to move here in December. So, I mean, it was kind of a rush to get here. Obviously, coming in and beating Energy was, a great confidence booster for the whole team. And then against, the G2 and MIBR, it was kind of just, playing not to lose, basically. And, it kind of sucked, but like we're gonna go back and rewatch it and learn from it. We learned a lot from the G2 loss. I'm sure we're gonna learn a lot from MIBR as well.
Out of curiosity, why do you feel like it started to become a mentality of playing not to lose instead of what we saw with NRG?
I mean, that's a good question. There's a lot of different, personalities and attitudes on the team, I guess. I I guess it's like three of us are like rookies. It's our first time on the stage. With Eric or Zeppa and Oxy, the only two veterans. So, um, it kind of comes with like experience and getting to know everybody. I think we were a little, off. We were on different pages, I guess, a lot of the time. So it's good to have that match experience together and learn from it, and just basically talk about it with each other and learn from each other.
And you're one of the newer additions to the team. I want to say it's just barely been over a month being back with C9. As the IGL, that's a big role to fill in and be kind of one of the newer people. So talk to me about initially joining the team, and then kind of what the past month has been for you in terms of what have been the things that you wanted to make sure the team had set before going into kickoff, and then maybe some of the goals you had for this tournament.
I mean, for the first part of your question, I came in and basically brought like a system with me, a whole new system. So we basically are building it from the ground up, and we grinded for about 2 weeks straight every day, putting in like 10 hours a day just to build, a strat book, protocols, and talk about it basically every map. So, and the second part of your question, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so the second part of my question was primarily because you're so new in this team, what were some of the goals that you had for kickoff that you wanted to see? Not even results oriented, just like you wanted to see the team doing.
Yeah, so for me personally, I wanted to see like how everybody's attitudes were in match time, how we reacted to the pressure, and also talking about our mistakes and actually applying it for the next match. And I think we did very well with that. After Energy and G2 matches, we talked about a lot of stuff, and we improved tremendously on those things that we talked about, but we just kind of got to keep putting in the time and fixing our mistakes after the matches, and adding on the 1%, overall.
Now, I want to kind of just move away from everything, because honestly, despite everything, this is a really great moment for you. You're back in with C9 and you're on the Americas stage. So when you got that offer from C9, just like the initial reactions of knowing that after the first 2 years being away from franchising, you finally made it there.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing feeling to be back with C9 and be in franchise. Uh, I knew the competition was it was a little step up, but like we've been scrimming against these teams in Tier 2 for, 2 years basically. So I knew the competition. And honestly, it's been amazing, like coming here to the Riot Studio and seeing everything, and the production, and just the hospitality of Riot, it's all amazing. And being on an org like Cloud9, which is like a staple for North America, it's just, it's all amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And something I really did want to talk to you about was after your time with C9, right before franchising, you were with Oxygen for 2 years, and you kind of grew into this leadership role in the IGL position. So just talk to me about those 2 years and what led to you kind of wanting to transition into this newer phase of your career to get to this position.
Yeah, I mean, when I first joined Oxygen in Tier 2, it kind of was like a trial for me being IGL with them. It honestly ended up working out like really well. And when we picked up Bonkar, like I learned so many things from him because he was a world champion Paladins player, and he knew how to lead a team, and he taught me so many things, and I owe a big chunk of my how I lead teams to him. Him and Russin were great influences, and honestly, like I couldn't be happier to play against them, and honestly beat Bonk as well in the first match. But yeah, I owe a lot to him for how I IGL now and how I lead the team.
What were some of the biggest takeaways that you got from it for being an IGL? Did you kind of realize that a great IGL requires a lot of planning and organizational structure? Or was it just being an emotional leader? Like, what were some of the biggest takeaways from working with that led to you fitting into this IGL role?
Yeah, I mean, basically everything that you said, like creating a structure, having an organized plan, and being, the emotions guy, like dealing with everybody, connecting with everybody on the team, and, just knowing your players basically and how to utilize them. So I owe, a bunch to him for that.
I'm curious, when you say knowing your players, is that more so just how they would handle certain situations, like game-wise, how they would react to certain moments where it's to calm them? Like, can you just elaborate on that more?
I mean, just in general, like how their play styles are. I guess if they're more passive, they're more aggressive. If they like, certain plays, and I know how to, connect it in with, the round that we're in right now in the match. Like I think this would work great here because you love doing this, and I think it's gonna beat the other team. So, just knowing your players in that way.
That's a really interesting philosophy. It's kind of like learning to maximize your players' strengths the most, right?
Yeah, exactly. Calling and utilizing their talent, basically.
So then now you'll have some time before the next phase of the VCT schedule. So kind of just talk to me now that you had this tournament. You'll have some more time to work with the team. What's the next steps for you?
Oh, I mean, the 2 months is gonna be amazing for the team. I think we had 2 weeks of grinding. I mean, we're definitely not going to stop practicing. We're going to probably have one day off now and then continue grinding for the next 2 months, and basically just building our strat book and building all of our protocols. There's so many more things that we need to talk about, and the matches were all eye-opening to some glaring issues and problems, but I'm confident that we're going to bounce back, and everybody's going to just soak in the information and be able to adapt.
Awesome, Mitch. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.